Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Massa Tutorials. Please do go to subscribe to this channel. Alright, we are still on our update 2022 solutions as the course to chain round mathematics objective test. So this time around, we are solving question 31, 32, 33, 34, then 35. So kindly watch carefully, then follow as we solve these questions, this set of 5 questions. So, question 31, it states that find a quadratic equation whose roots are 7 and -2. Find a quadratic equation whose roots are 7 and -2. Now, we have a formula we use to find for the quadratic equation. Now we always know, or we know that quadratic equation is expressed in the form ax squared plus bx plus c. Because it's an equation, we equate that to 0. Because it's an equation, we make sure that our equal sign is inside that the statement written. So we have ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. So the coefficient of x squared is a, the coefficient of x is b, then c is our constant, right? So now they've given us the roots of the quadratic equation. So they said we should find what the so-called or the supposed quadratic equation. So now, if you want to find for the quadratic equation when the roots are given, this is the formula you have to use. The formula you have to use is x squared minus sum of roots x plus product of roots, which must be equated to 0. So this is what you have to use. X squared minus sum of roots x plus product of roots, which must be equated to what? 0. So first of all, we have to find for our what? Our sum of roots. So sum of roots, which must be equal to what? 7 plus -2. And 7 plus -2, which reduces to what? +5. Then we have to find for our product. Our product of roots, which is equal to 7 times -2, which reduces to -14. So now we can substitute these values inside the formula. So we have x squared minus our sum of roots is 5. So 5 multiplies what? X. Then plus my product of roots. Because here is negative plus. Positive times negative, we get what? Negative. Then my 14, which must be equal to 0. So this is what we have as that. So which is x squared minus 5x minus 14 equals 0. So hence our quadratic equation is, so hence the quadratic equation is x squared minus 5x and minus 14 equals 0, which is option B. Option B for boy. Option B for boy. Option B for boy. All right. Or better still, if you don't like it like that, or if you don't like to use the formula, you can go by this. You can go by this. You can start with, they said these are the roots, so I can say that then x equals what? 7 and x equals what? -2, right? So now x equals 7. I can write it as x minus 7. Then x equals negative 2. I can also write it as x plus 2. Right. Now, this x minus 7 must be equal to 0. Then this one must be equal to 0. Since if you equate it to 0, you get your x equals 7. Then if you equate it to 0, you get your x equals negative 2. Now, I multiply these two expressions, x minus 7, then x plus 2. Then I equate that to 0. So now, this one is multiplication of two binomials. So we bring this first variable x, then we use that to multiply the expression. Then negative 7 out, then we use it to multiply the expression x plus 2. Then we equate it to 0. Now this one multiplies, right? So x multiplies the whole of the expression inside the bracket. So x times x, we get x squared. X times 2x. X times 2, we get 2x. Then negative 7 times x, we get negative 7x. Negative 7 times positive 2, we get negative 14, which must be equal to 0. So I have x squared plus 2x minus 7x, which is negative 5x, then minus 14 equals 0. So we have this, which is the same answer, option B. Option B for boy. All right, so let's move on to question 32. All right, let's see question 32. Sorry. A number is chosen at random from the set. So we have the set given as 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, then 42. What is the probability that the number is a multiple of 7? What is the probability that the number is a multiple of 7? So first of all, we have to, so these are our possible outcomes, right? So that's the possible outcome. So we can get a number of sample space. Let's see for the number of sample space. So we have to, or we need to count the elements inside the set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 8 elements. So that's our number of sample space. Then now, our event occurring, because how do we calculate the probability of an event? Probability of an event, which is P of E, must be equal to N of E divided by N of S. So that's the probability of an event must be equal to the number of events all divided by the number of sample space. So we need to get our event. So what is occurring, or what are we interested in? Now, remember, the event is a subset of what? The possible outcomes, or the sample space. So now, what is the probability that the number is a multiple of 7? So a multiple of 7 is what we are interested in. So multiple of 7. So now let's see our events. So we can say that multiples, we have multiples of 7. So these are events we are interested in, multiples of 7. I said, remember, the event you are listing, make sure that there's a subset of the possible outcomes. That means we don't go beyond these possible outcomes because it's a subset of that. So now let's go. 7, 1, 7. Let's see whether we have 7 inside. No. We don't have 7, 2, 14. We don't have it there. 7, 3, 21. We don't have it. 7, 4, 28. We don't have it. 7, 5, 35. Do we have it? Yes, we have 7, 5, 35. We have 7, 6, 42. 7, 6, 42. Yes, we have 42 inside. Then 7, 7, 49. We don't have 49 inside, but it is a multiple of what? 7. Since you don't have 49 inside, you do not list them, or you do not take this 49 as part of what? The multiples of what? 7. So kindly take note of that. So now let's proceed. So we have 35 and what? 42 as our multiples of 7. So now let's see. N of multiples of 7. So we have to check the number of elements inside these multiples of 7. Then there you go. We have what? 2 elements. So now, how do we find for the probability? The probability will be the multiples of 7, which must be equal to the number of multiples of 7 all divided by the number of sample space. So our probability of the multiples of 7 must be equal to our number of multiples of 7, which is 2, divided by our sample space, which is 8. We can reduce this one, 2 into itself, 1, then into 8, 4. So we get 1/4. So 1/4. So what is the probability that the number is a multiple of 7, which is what? 1/4. And this is giving us option B. Option B for boy. Option B for boy. So now let us proceed to question 33. Alright, let's see question 33. The sum of the angles of a regular polygon is 2520 degrees. How many sides does the polygon have? How many sides does the polygon have? So now, we are looking for the number of sides. They've given us, or they've calculated the sum of interior angles of that regular polygon. And now, the sum of interior angles of a regular polygon is equal to n minus 2 times 180 degrees. Now, where n is equal to, we don't